Hello, ladies. We're back for another edition of Menopause Made Easy. I'm doing these episodes on Sunday as we get ready for September. A lot of people in the summer just are fancy and free, and then the September energy hits, and they're like, oh my gosh, they panic. They reach for the quickest, easiest pill product diet. And this year, I'd love if it would be something different for you. So I'm going to talk about different diets on the Sundays here. And we're going to plant some seeds so that in September you can just take a nice deep breath and you can say, what is going to be the best thing for me as I use this fall September energy and allow my body to heal. And when we heal, we lose weight. That is, how you want to be looking at it. You lose fat when you heal yourself. At the Menopause Made Easy with Tanya podcast is the place where we unpack what it means to thrive mind, body, and spirit through menopause and beyond. And I'm your host, Tanya, your guide and your girlfriend in this journey. And I'd like to give two shout outs. Last week I mentioned Pam. I was at the Fenelon Falls Farmers Market, and Pam left her corporate job and she is making her own Indian sauces. And went up to the stand. I love going to farmers markets and just chatting with people, seeing what they're doing. And I was like, tell me there's no seed oil in here. And she's like, there is no seed oil. You guys know how passionate I am. And if you haven't listened to my seed oil free episodes, please listen to those. They could be life changing for you. Anyway, Pam is I believe Pam, sorry if I say this wrong, but Basil Lee, and you can go to basilleesauces.com and check out her wonderful products there. And I will put her information in the show notes. So I love entrepreneurial spirit to, just follow your heart and go after what it is you want to go after. So shout out to Pam and her beautiful sauces. And I love her tagline. It says, the taste of life. Beautiful. And then I'd love to give another shout out to everybody at the farmers market. I buy some of my meat there. All of you that are raising beautiful animals and providing them for us. I forgot to mention that in last week's episode about carnivore. I did mention getting meat from local sources, grass-fed if you can. And one company I do use, actually I use two companies, but one that's in my show notes week after week after week is True Local. And if you look on I don't have the information in front of me, but if you look on there, you get a discount for using that link. So by all means, check that out. I love getting their chicken, their meats, their just everything. And maybe you're using a local farmer already. So the quality of our food is important. So let's just get back to today's episode. We're going to talk about another hot topic, and that is the keto diet. And I am absolutely sure you've heard of this diet and all of the hype. And what's the truth, especially for us midlife women navigating hormones, metabolism, and maybe a few or more stubborn pounds. And we're going to cover what the keto diet is, how long it's been around for, the pros and the cons, especially when it comes to your gut microbiome, your menopausal health, your long-term vitality. And I'll walk you through a sample day on keto and compare two women like I did last week, one who pulses her eating style with intention and one who's become very stuck in dietary rigidity. Let's get into this. So what is the keto diet? It is short for the ketogenic diet, which is a high fat, moderate protein, very low carb eating style. The goal is to push your body into a metabolic state called ketosis, where you burn fat for fuel instead of carbohydrates. Again, listen to my many episodes, number 8, number 56, how to burn this fat storage. You don't want to lose weight, everybody. You want to tap into the fat stored on your body and then stop adding more fat to your body. Okay, so really, how do we get into that? And if we keep spiking our blood sugar levels, we're making it really challenging for ourselves. roll back to July 13th, I talk about snacking. July 20th, I talk about nighttime eating. I have some great guides. Last week we covered carnivore, and I actually do have a carnivore eating plan. I have not included it, but perhaps I'll put it on my email. So if you aren't part of my email and want to be, please email me at tanya@moveyourbody.ca. Or if you pick up any of my free guides, you will get on my list. Okay, so back to keto. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's to push your body into ketosis where you burn fat instead of carbohydrates. To get there, most keto eaters consume around 70 to 75% fat, 20 to 25% protein, and 5 to 10% carbohydrates, roughly 20 to 50 grams of carbs a day. And I'm going to do a carb only episode because a lot of us are eating in excess of 250 grams of carbs per day. And we don't want that because on keto, the equivalent is about eating one small apple per day. Anyway, this brings me to if you have not picked up my 30 days added sugar detox, I highly recommend it. It's on sale now for $17. You can pay what you want, but the minimum is $17. And if you haven't picked it up, please do so because this, you would not believe how much added sugar is hiding in things that when you just start to retrain and look at these items, you will revamp so many things. Simple and have fun is what I did, is what I do, and I shared everything that I did in 30 days. Okay. All right. So where did keto come from? Keto isn't new. As I mentioned before, it dates back to 1920s when it was used therapeutically to treat epilepsy in children. And since then, it's evolved into a trendy lifestyle approach, especially for weight loss, brain health, and blood sugar control. But just because it's been around a while doesn't mean it's for everyone or every phase of life or a rigid approach. Again, this you are N of one. What can you do? So what is keto and how does it work for a menopausal woman? During this time, right, during menopause, we naturally lose estrogen and progesterone, both of which play roles in our metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and fat storage. That's why some women find keto incredibly helpful because it can stabilize your blood sugar, reduce your belly fat, and curb cravings. Some potential benefits include improved mental clarity, reduced inflammation, better blood sugar control, easier fat loss, especially visceral fat. That's that fat around the organs. I've done many episodes on fat, and you can listen more about that. And you know what? I've had people who, again, have gone on diets. They've put their head down, they've done the diet, they lost the weight, they felt better. Poof! Okay, they go off the diet because they didn't change fundamental things that I teach you in my midlife reboot program because this is about changing your self-image. This is about changing your habits and your routines. This is about finding what works for you sustainably and long term, not for 30 days, not for 60 days where you lose the weight and regain it back, which I have seen countless times over my 30 plus years in my professional career. What about the gut microbiome? So what does keto do for the microbiome? Here's the twist. While short-term keto may reduce inflammation and help balance your gut bugs, those good loving bugs, long-term keto could be problematic for your microbiome. So could it be for you? Could it not be? I don't know. We're N of one. Okay, but I just want to give you all the facts and then you can decide. Why might it be problematic? Because it eliminates or drastically reduces fiber-rich plant foods. Again, you could listen to somebody on plants and they'll tell you they're poison for your body. And then you could listen to somebody on plants and tell you it's the only thing you should be eating. Again, how does it make you feel short-term, mid-term, long-term? All right, so when we reduce these fiber-rich plant foods that feed beneficial bacteria. Without these probiotics, your gut diversity may shrink. It could potentially lead to some constipation, immune issues, even some hormone disruptions, which, when you're going through this perimenopausal journey, you might be like, oh my God, what's causing what? I don't know. Right? That's why we play and practice. Play and practice in my midlife reboot. What is going to work best for you? Where are you now? What is your goal? What's the next shift we need to make? Keto may reset your gut, but staying on strict keto for many months or years could lead to microbial monotony. And again, there's plant keto, there's dirty keto, there's all variations of keto, right? There's not just one. I am going to give you some sample day, and here we go. So again, let's just say you're aiming for 120 grams of protein from whole food sources. And what might your day look like? A lot of the times you're going to see some repetition. For breakfast, you're going to have 3 eggs in some avocado oil, butter, ghee, something like that. Maybe half an avocado, some sauteed spinach with garlic, and then coffee with a splash of MCT oil or heavy cream. And, years ago, I'm talking, it's got to probably be over 10 years now, I started having what I called a fat releasing smoothie. And I'm not going to talk about that here, but yes, I started to add some really healthy fats and some MCT oil. I love MCT oil. Lunch, you could have some grilled salmon, an arugula salad with some olive oil, walnuts, olives, goat cheese, and then you can have some cucumber slices with some sea salt. And then you could, for a snack, have some hard-boiled eggs, some turkey slices, some macadamia nuts. And for dinner, you could have a ribeye steak, some lamb chops, some roasted cauliflower with ghee, zucchini noodles with pesto. And if you wanted a sweet treat, you could have some chia pudding with some unsweetened coconut milk and a few raspberries. So that's kind of whole foods keto. So again, you're going to have a wide variety of keto diets. So don't be like, Tanya said this is a keto diet. That's not what I'm saying. I'm giving you an example of a whole foods keto diet with about 120 grams of protein. How I approach people is let's work with you. What are your goals? I have no affiliation or set on one thing. I have a very holistic approach to helping heal you so that your body can function optimally. Now we're going to compare 2 women. We're going to meet Betty. No, I'm going to just keep it at this. Lisa and Karen. We're going to meet Lisa and Karen. There's a lot of Lisa and Karens, but anyway, that's where my mind is. They're both in their late 50s. They're both postmenopausal, let's just say, and they're curious about improving their health. And Lisa this week is the flexible explorer. Karen last week was the flexible one. Lisa tries keto for a month and feels amazing. She has fewer sugar crashes, her clothes are fitting better, her energy is up. But after about 6 weeks, she's noticing that she's not sleeping as well, her digestion is slowing down, and she's really missing fruit and fiber. So this is not going to be a long-term approach for her, which is okay. Okay. So Lisa learns how to pulse in and out. She does 3 weeks of keto and then a week of higher carb whole foods. You could also work with your cycle if you did have one. These women are both postmenopausal, so I'm just going to stick on that. But she adds in some berries and sweet potatoes and some lentils, and she learns to listen to her body. She tracks her sleep and her cycle. And yes, even postmenopausal, we have a cycle. A lot of people match that up to the moon. I talk about this in my midlife reboot program, and she keeps adjusting. And her results are that she maintains and sustains her results. She stays energized and doesn't feel restricted. Karen, on the other hand, is a keto devotee. Karen lost 20 pounds on keto 2 years ago. She still eats the exact same way, even though her energy is low, she's constipated, and her cholesterol is not where she wants it to be. She's afraid to reintroduce carbohydrates, even vegetables, because she fears gaining weight. I got that backwards, didn't I? And the result for Karen is that her health plateaued. She got stuck in diet prison, and her gut and maybe hormones are paying the price. And it's very hard to work with people like Karen because they are stuck on this is going to work. This is going to work. I'm going to lower my calories. It is a very difficult mindset. I have done a podcast interview on mindset and whether you are open to change or not. Fixed versus, oh my gosh, what's the other one? Fixed versus something mindset. I can't remember at the moment. All right, so what are our key takeaway principles for today? And that is to pulse with purpose. Keto, again, like carnivore, could be a helpful tool, but it is not a lifestyle sentence, especially in menopause. We need to be metabolically flexible. We need to pulse in and pulse out. We need to shift between using that stored fat and using carbohydrates for fuel. You need to listen to your body. Okay. Take what I say and how can you make it work for you? And if you need help privately, I'm here. And if you want to join my midlife reboot program, it opens up for early bird registration until August 30th, and we start September 8th. Okay, so rigid eating may feel safe, but true health comes from adaptability. Yes, it does. And so I am going to provide you with a 3-day keto sample meal plan. If anybody wants to email me, that is how you're going to get it, or to be on my email list, and I will send it out. So if you're not on my email list, either pick up my 5 hacks to cut your cravings or my break your nighttime eating habit, or PM me so you can get on my list, and I will send that to you. My inspiration for the week is your body is not a math problem to solve. It's a living, breathing story, and it changes. Make it one of flexibility, joy, and nourishment. And think about this. Maybe short-term keto is okay. Use it as a metabolic reset. Track your symptoms, energy, sleep, digestion, and mood. Maybe reintroduce some fiber-rich carbohydrates like berries, squash, and see how you feel. Watch for some red flags like dry skin, hair loss, constipation, and fatigue. Don't fear food because your body is very wise. Learn to listen to it, reconnect to it again. So I'm going to provide you a keto pulse flexible 3-day eating plan. If you're interested in that, I will probably end up emailing it, but if you're not on my email list, you need to get on my email list. So please do that. You can email me at tanyamoveyourbody.ca, or you know me, you can get in touch with me. And if you could please subscribe, hit that subscribe button, share this episode, leave a 5-star review from my heart to yours. I would greatly appreciate that. And please share this with your girlfriends, your friends, and your family. Head over to vibrantlivingwithtanya.com. You can pick up my freebies, and there's some recipes there. Until next time, everybody, breathe well, eat well, move well, think well, trust your inner wisdom. You've got this. And lastly, just another shout out to Pam. Thank you for making a product without seed oils, and to True Local. Click on the link in the show notes to try out some of their really amazing, tasty meat. And again, support your local farmers by going to farmers markets. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day. Mwah.